Heroclix Land, welcome back to Talkn Clix, where we celebrate the heroes of Heroclix. I'm your host, Wespool. With me, as always, is my co-host, Scott, son of John. Hello, Scott.
Good evening.
We have a great episode for you guys tonight. Who's our special guest tonight?
Tonight we have one of your locals. I believe his name is Brian.
That's correct.
Hello,
Pleasure to be
Brian.
here.
Hi, Brian. How you doing
Or
tonight?
maybe it's Brian. I don't know.
Brian.
Nope.
The facial hair is kind of confusing there. I don't know.
I understand.
Brian it is. Okay.
So I met Brian.
No. Let's hear Brian's version of this story.
How did we meet
Okay.
Brian?
Well, I got back into Heroclix probably 4 or 5 months ago with the release of Black Panther.
So 7 months ago.
Yeah.
8 months ago. Something like that.
Yeah, time flies when you're old. I got back in, and the only local around here is Blue Moon Comics, and Wes is a organizer for Blue Moon and their events, and I met him there. I had heard of his event, Red, White, and Clix, prior to meeting him. I didn't realize he was local, and yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it happened. Just kind of an organic thing that, kind of turned into me chasing a dream from 15 years ago.
So you said you came back to Clix. When did you originally play?
Pre-cards.
Okay, so you're playing back in the
Like
Ultimates and Sinister.
Yeah, the yellow, red, blue dials.
Rookie Experience Veteran, Rev.
Yes, yeah, a long time ago. Well, it feels like a long time ago, but I was thrilled to see the Oreo dial and to not have to use a ring.
You didn't like the H on the bottom of the dial or the cup that you would just break the figure off of if it got stuck?
No, no, I'm glad to see the improvements. Yeah, it's been an experience. I would, but I'm really enjoying it. The community is amazing. Yeah, it's been great.
Well,
and Wes has been great. If we could just get Wes to plan an event and then be there.
Oh, so you're saying he's not going to be at Red, White, and Clix?
No.
The small local weekly events. I had a lot of family stuff come up recently, and I'm like, sorry guys, can't make it today.
Yeah, but life has been in the way and not just for Wes, for a lot of us. So being older gamers, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, life has been in the way, but consistency is the key. If you keep it on the same night at the same time, even if you're not there, someone else can try and pick up the slack. So,
correct. Yep.
So I first found Brian when you guys you and Aaron and Alec, I think, were playing at another local store just randomly, and
very casually.
One of the employees of the shop used to play Heroclix with me, and he knows that I'm still active in the game and calls me up. He's like, hey, you want some new players? There's some guys just randomly playing here. So I was like, give him my number. Tell him to call me.
Yeah, it was kind of the perfect storm. My timing was good. I was looking for people to play with. I had started watching some things on YouTube. My oldest son actually relit the fire for me. He had seen something on YouTube because he played with me when he was much younger, and he was like, hey, we should check this out again. This game was fun. And I started watching on YouTube, and then I ran into Alec and Tracy at the other local store, and then Cam hooked us up with Wes, and it's been crazy the way that it's worked out. So
the Heroclix game that you knew back in the day, is essentially a completely different game. What was it like for you relearning the game and the new rules and the cards and all that? What was it like for you?
Yeah, the just adding the cards and like going from zero to I'm a bit of an OCD guy, so I went from zero to that in a short amount of time. I picked up a lot of stuff. I bought out a store. I spent a lot of money. Uh,
Yes,
and
thank you for that.
you, you're welcome. Uh, I bought some collections here and there, and the addition of the cards is huge. The having the dial visible without having to physically pick up the piece and look at it is huge. It streamlines so many parts of the game now, where you would fumble over looking at a dial, and all the colors are still there, so the old dials are still confusing, and even more so because you're all the time referring to the power and abilities cards and not knowing what things did at
Look,
the time. It was
the cards make it a lot easier because for sets that have an offset of the color, like Battle World, I feel like some of the colors were skewed a different way, and toughness might look like impervious. So
correct.
having the
Yeah,
card in front of you says, "Oh no, that's actually toughness. It's not impervious. I don't get to reduce by 2 and roll out of it."
yeah.
So
I've noticed that with some of the like the Con LE stuff, both old and new. A lot of the ink, like you said, the colors are different on stuff like that.
it's just a different tint of the same color supposedly, but it's very
Right.
elegant.
Yeah. Well, there are times when impervious looks like toughness. So, but yeah, having the card
So
eliminates a lot of that.
I have a very unique question for you since you played back then and then you jumped in here recently.
Okay.
What do you think of the points difference? Like back in the day, everything would end in twos, threes, eights,
Yeah.
sevens. It'd be weird to the math would be a little harder to do. And
Yeah.
then
I
now it's all
actually
fives or zeros.
yeah. I just actually just last week had an experience directly with what you're talking about. Um, my local store randomly got in 6 boxes of collateral damage, and I picked up 2 of them, and I opened one and left one sealed, and one of the pieces in there, Ragman, I think, is like 17 points, and I'm thinking back, and then there was I can't remember the character's name, but it's Shazam's sister. I can't remember the character's name.
um,
Uh, but she's like this little fragile little thing, and she's like 197 points. And I'm like, holy cow, the power, the reduction in cost, uh, points wise, is a was a huge thing to get used to. I think the last piece I remember opening that had any impact at all, there was 2 flashes running parallel to one another on a
yeah.
peanut dial.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last piece I
Priceless.
remember from playing before, and it's just not looking at the dial and the cost on that thing now. I'm like, how did we get to where we are?
So,
Uh, Go ahead.
Brian, what store has this, and why didn't you call me?
So tier one, it's look, I got it right here. Look at this.
Why didn't you call me?
They got 6 of them the same. So there are 3 of us that get together and play at tier 1 games. That's
Right.
the other store here in town, and they came in on a Thursday when we were all 3 there. So we just all 3 bought 2 of them, and I think it was a distributor thing where they're like, well, if you want to place an order, you got to take these because we can't get rid of them. I have since told our store manager that if you can get more of these, we will sell them. So
Yeah.
if there are if they still have them, we are going to get more. If we get more, you will be the first person I'll tell.
So
Yeah, it was
from the
it
old to
was
the new again.
yeah.
The old boxes had different artwork on some of the boxes, which was really cool. And
Yeah.
then the newer boxes, everything is uniform.
Yeah. Yeah. The packaging is so different. We went from 4 models and a pog to
Sometimes,
5 models. What's that?
sometimes there was a pug. I mean, in
Yes.
the collateral damage stuff, there was either a terrain or what was considered an object at the time, or you had a bystander pug, which
Right.
mostly was worthless.
Yeah. I opened the bystander, a no name with no abilities, and it was still 5 points.
Okay, I can't say they're worthless because everything has use. It's a body blocker or a line of fire or something that
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was neat to find those, to just walk into your store and then be right there. They didn't even put them on a shelf. They knew we were coming in. They left them on the counter. They totally baited us, but it worked. We bought them all.
Nice. What was the hardest rules change or power change from the old to the new that you had to struggle with?
There used to be a thing that doesn't exist anymore called push damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got, and I don't remember, the willpower used to be a thing that allowed you to ignore push damage, and it was signified. Every shield on a dial has a little white line through it.
Mm-hmm.
That little white line didn't used to be on every piece. It was on a piece that had willpower, so you could do a second action with a piece that had willpower and it wouldn't take pushing damage. Now willpower is its own separate thing.
willpower is self leadership.
Yeah, so trying to take the things that you knew. So that, as a very specific example, when I bought my first bunch of stuff, I found stuff at Blue Moon because nowhere else in town had any. And I bought a couple of packs. I bought a Wheels of Vengeance pack and a Marvel Phase 2 pack, and I opened the Wong with the sling ring, the super rare, the really good one. And learning that I don't have to take push damage. I didn't know that everybody can have 2 tokens, but nobody can have more than 2 tokens. I didn't know that was a thing. So changes like that have been difficult to get used to, and I'm repeating myself, but the points changes. Like everything ending in a 5 or a 0 is so handy, and that Wong is 75 points. 10 years ago, he'd have been 250. Just
Probably close.
the power level of that
His
piece.
stats are really good, and plus, what he can do is just be like, "All right, it's just you and me. Let's go."
Yeah,
So,
it's so crazy that a piece that powerful is, in my mind, less than 100 points is nuts compared to before. So
Is Wong your favorite piece right now?
I
You use it a lot.
I do. I like Wong a lot. I like the Colossal Starro with the Legacy card.
Yep.
I like that piece a lot. But as far as like if I want to play and play well, yeah. Well, I've really leaned on Wong because he was quite literally. I opened Wong. I opened both of the common. I opened Mr. Knight and Moon Knight both in that Phase 2 pack. And I just kind of got pushed into Mystics as a thing. So when I came back, the first team I put together was Mystics. So I've literally been playing Wong super consistently for 7 or 8 months. And not only that, but he's real good. So, and I continue to learn things about that piece that I just don't understand or didn't understand before. Because he does so many different things at his different levels. So, Wong's probably my favorite. Plus That sling ring on the back, that portal thing on the back is just really cool. Man.
It's a really good looking piece, and I
Yeah.
hate playing against it unless I have like a big giant swarm. I'm like, okay, I want to have you tied up for at least 2 turns with this guy. I want to have you tied up with this guy. I got stuff to do. But if it's
Yeah.
just like 3 pieces on my team and Wong's here, I'm like, it's gonna be a slugfest.
Yeah, he's bad news if you have a low body count and he gets to single you out. It's rough. So
Now, the first time I met you was around the first of the year, and you were still pretty green to the game, and you told me you wanted to be ready to go to Gen Con, come Gen Con.
yes,
You just came back from Origins, which was your
yes,
first outing at a big major event. How'd you do?
yes. Uh, I went 0-5.
Hey, good job for playing all 5 rounds.
I that's what I was gonna say next. That I'm gonna dote on the community for a moment, if that's okay.
No,
I went to
allowed.
Origins. I signed up to play, and I decided I'm just going to learn everything I can today. These are some of the best players around, so we're going to soak it in. If we play well, great. If we don't play well, we're going to learn. We'll play better next time.
You got 25 minutes to grill them about what I can do better.
Yeah. Yes. So, my first round opponent played the Supersaurus. He played a one-piece team, and he had Reverse Flash and Gaia on the side. And I had a turn where I had 5 swings at Kong to KO him and win. And I needed a 7, and I missed the 7 5 rolls in a row.
Oof.
And then he reverse flashed, and then Kong died, and Gaia was on the board, and I lost that game. 300 points me, 415 points my opponent. It was so much. It's the most fun I've had playing this game so far. It was a blast, and my opponent was amazing. And that was now the remaining 4 rounds. I got raffle stomped. 4 rounds in a row. Like it wasn't. I never had a close game, but everybody after was like, "You did this. You did that. You can replace this piece with that one." I was playing 2 copies of the 50-point Uncommon Mysterio, and if I had it to do over, I would have played 1 copy of Chase Mysterio instead. And I was playing Sandman, and the team did what it was supposed to do. It just didn't do it very well, and I learned that I played Spot, and playing Spot locally is not the same. Like
Vastly different.
I got lessons in how to play Spot in 3 of the 5 rounds. But more to the community. I played all 5 rounds just because I was enjoying myself. And I'm sitting and I'm playing in the 5th round. And, I forgot his name. The tournament organizer.
Ryan?
I'm not going to listen. Huh?
Was it Ryan?
No, redheaded guy with a beard.
PJ,
yes. PJ comes walking up to me while I'm in my last round, and he sets down in front of me the top 32 prizing. And I was like, that can't be for me, buddy. I'm not winning this game. I'm 0-5 today. And he said what you just said. You played all 5 rounds. You've lost every round. There's no reason for you to be playing other than the fact that you're enjoying yourself. We appreciate that. These are for you.
Yeah, PJ's awesome.
Good job on PJ.
And that has been my experience going all the way back to before I had even bought any pieces. I watched all of the Nationals coverage and all of the Worlds coverage from last year in like August to October. And these guys are at tables and they're playing for giant piles of product. And they're allowing each other to take back mistakes at top tables. Everybody's just so laid back. And they're genuinely playing because they like it. And they're 100% it matters to them whether you as your opponent are enjoying yourself. And I'm a retired Magic player. Started playing Magic in 1994. And at the competitive level, trust and believe the Magic players don't care if you're having fun.
You get some games of Clix where it's like, I'm here to beat you. And then we're gonna go back over it and try and get you some fun. But my job is to destroy you.
Right. But when I'm getting my teeth kicked in, I am enjoying myself because my opponent has a good attitude. And like I said, I didn't win a round, but I didn't have a single opponent where I was like, I'm not having fun playing against this person. So the community has been very welcome and very open, and the aftermarket community, the buy sell groups are all. I've had 100 transactions or so already, and never had a problem. I've received everything I've paid for. It's just every aspect of it so far has been very satisfying to me as a player and a person who, in a different manner, gaming is my profession. So to find something like this where I can just enjoy myself has been amazing.
Well, welcome to the community.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, do you plan on what's the next event you plan on going to? Next major event?
I thought it was going to be Gen Con, but
you can go
I'll be there. I'll be there the whole weekend. But PJ told me there's no that the Heroclix side of Wizkids has no presence this year. There are no events on the schedule.
No,
correct.
So, which is disappointing. I don't really understand it because they're going to be there because of the D&D stuff. Maybe there's something going on that I don't know about. I mean, whatever. So I'm going to Munster on the 26th. Wes, is that right?
Yep.
I'm going to Munster to play in an event there, which is a regional, correct?
The CCO?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Champion Clix Open Regional?
Yes.
Excuse me, the Tropical,
yeah. I'm going to that. That's the next non-local thing I'm doing, and then Gen Con is the following weekend. And I still haven't quite figured out HC units and how to navigate it to be able to look for an event. So I'm kind of technologically handicapped. I had trouble figuring out Discord today, and apparently that's not a thing that should be hard to figure out. But yeah, my intention after Gen Con is to kind of pedal to the metal and hit the gas a little bit. I need to get into pulp. I haven't tried that yet. And it's my understanding that there are some pulp events, as well as modern and silver. Silver terrifies me. I have enough trouble building 300-point teams. I can't imagine adding another 100 points and what to do with that mess.
I build almost all day long in my head. So if you need assistance, I'm going to build you some trash.
Yeah, I catch myself doing that too. But I drive for a living, so if I let my mind roam too far, it becomes dangerous.
So what is your goal going into the CCO in a week? You went 0-5 at Nats. What's your goal at CCO?
If we're talking comparatively, we'll say that CCO is also 5 round. If it's also a 5-round event, I don't know what the
usually they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we get to play 5 rounds, I would like to win 2.
There you go. That's the mindset. Just do better than last time.
Let me walk you through my experience when I would go to these things when I first started going to the big competitive events. I'm going to make the cut. I'm going to finish in the top 16, whatever it is. And then you lose that first game. You're like, all right, I still got a shot at making the cut. I'm going to make it up here. I'm going to get what I need to do. And then after you've lost your second or your third game, you're like, all right, I just want to win a game. Let's win a game.
Yeah.
You're just lowering the bar every round.
Yeah.
That last round, you're like, not last.
Right. Fortunately, with all of my Magic playing. I've chased the brass ring and had the delusions of grandeur, and I started doing that when I was 22 years old, and I'm past that. What I want to get better. Now I'm saying that now. Maybe we have this conversation again 2 or 3 years from now, and my attitude is different because you're improving and you get to that place where you're like, well, I'm right there. I have to get over the edge, So maybe if I get to there, maybe it's different, just because I'm a competitive person by nature. But I'm trying very hard to not allow that to be the driving force in me wanting to play.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like it where you're coming from now. It's like, all right, I'm having fun, so let's keep having fun.
Yeah.
A
I
bad
want to
beat is
meet
a bad
people.
beat, but you got to keep going to have fun.
Yeah. So I played some practice games today, and I lost the first game badly because I couldn't make a super senses roll to save my life.
Still a dice game.
Yeah. So I mean,
Only
you're
33% chance. You'll be all right.
yeah, you're gonna have days where you're gonna pick the wrong pair out of the box, and they're just gonna be mean to you for no reason.
Now, I don't know how much you follow my social media, but there is a family called the Prignanos. They've been deemed or named the Flying Prignanos. It's
Okay.
two brothers and one of their sons that are highly competitive players in the Chicagoland area. And I
Okay.
have thrown down the gauntlet. The Talking Clix is going to outshow them at the CCO event. So you are part of the Talking Clicks crew. You, me, Devin Nunemaker, and is Alex going?
Alec is registered.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going.
So the four of us are going to outshine the three of them at the CCO event. I have thrown down the gauntlet. I have made the memes, and those
He's
Okay.
those
like,
boys are not going
he's
to be
like,
flying
here's
any
the
longer.
bus.
Yeah.
Get under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah. I will play hard because it's in my nature. But I'm just I will play hard and I will do my best. But I'm gonna keep smiling while I'm doing it.
The youngest one, Logan, just won. He's the youngest player to ever win a Adepticon, and he just won this last year.
Wow. Okay.
No pressure.
That is a high bar, sir.
Look, they're just people.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
They're just people. They have to roll chance cubes too.
That's facts. Yeah. Yeah. Math rocks be math rocks.
Yes. So, do you have a nickname?
Oh no.
Not that you're aware. How about this? Were you in the military?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
You say you're a truck driver. Do you have a handle?
No. I don't drive a semi. I
Okay.
work for a company called MedSpeed. I do medical
Oh,
transportation.
so you're moving organs around.
I move medicine,
Ah,
but
organ sounds much better.
it's time sensitive stuff. Yeah, but yeah. No organs yet. That is a possibility. That is a thing that could happen, but thus far it has not.
At least not above board. Okay.
Right.
We need some kidneys moved. We know who to call.
Gotcha.
If you could be a comic book character, who would you like to emulate?
That's a good question. I like Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, okay.
He's kind of
Yeah.
schizo.
I like Moon Knight. I like there's lots of versions of Moon Knight. So I like the internal struggle. I like the Khonshu would prefer that I do a terrible thing, but I fight against it and I get the thing done that he wants done, but I do it in a way where no one dies.
Did you like the live action version?
Yes, I did. I liked it a lot. I had problems with it. I didn't like the implied violence. We've wrecked 3 cars and 8 people are laying unconscious, but we didn't get to see any of it happen.
Well, that's a budget issue.
Yes, but being a fan of the comic for a long time, he's a violent guy, and none of that being depicted in the show was disappointing. I love the storytelling. I'm not one of those guys that wants the whole thing right now. I don't binge watch things. You know, I'm old enough where I remember, you know, you watch a thing for an hour and then you have to wait a week for the next episode. So, I'm not sitting down on a Saturday and watching the entire run of WandaVision because I can. But I have to say probably an 8 out of 10. One complaint, you know, from a fan of the comic book, you know, isn't really, which, you know, isn't really a thing that'll ruin it. But I really liked it as the short version. So,
all right. I owe you an apology, Brian, because I didn't post on Facebook anywhere that we were interviewing you, and that's usually my thing that I try to get out there is, hey, we're going to interview somebody and put your Facebook questions on here. So,
gotcha.
I didn't do that. I owe you some questions.
Okay.
I'll make them up as we go.
All right, sounds good.
So since you're a Moon Knight fan, do you have multiple personalities?
Well,
I've been
married 3 times. Does that count?
Yeah.
If you ask my children, yes, there's a very calm, laid back version of Dad, and then there's, you know, the dad version of Dad. So I'm pretty chill most of the time. So, but you know, angry is angry. So I would say, if you ask my children, there are two of me. So,
we got nice Dad now.
Yeah.
We don't have the authoritarian Dad.
As I've gotten older, you know, I've been very lucky. I have 6 children. I have 2 girls. My oldest is a girl. She's 31. And then my youngest is a girl. She's 13. And I've been very fortunate that my kids have been spaced to the point where I have been able to very plainly be a better dad to the young ones than I was to the older ones.
I mean, it's a learning experience going through parenthood.
That's a fact. That none of them came with instructions. It made me so upset.
And they're all different.
Yes. They are. Yes. Personalities are real.
You want to run it like a military camp, but you can't do that.
No, you can't.
Nope, not anymore.
They don't like it. They don't like you when you do that. So
I don't know if you want to talk about your team that you prepared for CCO, but what's kind of your process in building a competitive team?
So when I first, it's changed a lot just in the 7 or 8 months that I've been playing again. It was, you see the tubs behind me are all sorted by team ability.
That's going to change as you get more.
I'm sure. I've been told lots of different ways to do it, and I'm kind of soaking all of that in. I'm a very organized person, so whatever I do, it's going to have to be easy to, you know, it will be easy to track.
Each set has their own little tray.
That's okay. I thought I had acquired a bunch in a very short amount of time, but man,
I've been playing since the beginning, so
gotcha. So that was my first indicator, was the team abilities. That's how I landed on Mystics, because Wong is a Mystic, and because the Mr. Knight Moon Knight is Mystics, and the robot, I don't know exactly, it's the Ghost Rider out of Wheels of Vengeance, the robot Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
He's Mystics, and that's just, so the first 2 boosters I bought just pushed me to that, because I remembered team abilities from before. Since then, I have learned about keywords Holy crap!
It's magical.
It's oh my
But
god!
they're not nearly as good as they used to be. The keyword bonus used to be like, oh, hey, you have 14 people with Justice League, you get a plus
Right,
14 to map.
right. The and the keyword I'm not I hesitate to use the word cheating, but from a building standpoint, I don't know what else to call it. How you can cheat keywords on the models that don't have them.
Um,
Uh,
in
that
the in the safety lingo, we don't call stuff cheating. It would be manipulating.
that I like that better.
So
Uh,
using a pocket knife, we can't have it work, but you can have a single sided safety scissor.
gotcha. Gotcha. The keyword manipulation has been something that I have been wrapping my head around here in the last couple of months, leading up to Origins. That's how I landed on the list that I played at Origins. The Sinister Syndicate as a keyword. Um, so that's become a large part of it. I made a terrible mistake about not caring about the map.
Maps are super important.
Yeah. So my approach from the math hammer standpoint got me to a place where I was like, does it really matter if I go first or second? Does it really matter if I get to pick the map? The team does the same thing regardless of that. And that's just not accurate. That was an error on my part, because if my team needs line of sight and the map's full of walls, I'm in trouble. You know,
If you're fighting a bunch of people with stealth and all you have is hindering maps, then you're not in setting yourself up.
yeah, then you're just
Or
losing.
if your team's stealth and you have no hindering on your map.
Yeah. So that was that has become a large part of my process, and understanding the importance of not keyword abilities, but powers and abilities like leadership, probability control, outwit.
No.
The
Probability control is trash.
Oh, here we go again.
Respectfully, I will disagree. But things like that, it's a constant thought when I'm building a list. Do I have prob on here? Do I have leadership? Do I have an outwit somewhere? Can I find a place to get perplex in? But then all of that's this could be a very deep explanation. All of that hinges on what I want the team to do. Like if I'm not trying to move in and punch real hard, then perplex is less important, and outwit is way more important because we want to turn off defense abilities. So just a detailed understanding of how the powers work in relationship to what you want your list to do, is very important.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Which power is more important to both of you? Is it going to be perplex, outwit, or probability control?
Probability control, 100%.
Again, I think it's situational. I have in my Mystic, because I have a Mystics team, I want perplex and outwit before I want prob. I also have a Starro team that runs Prime Colossus and the Collector, the promo collector from the release kit.
Yeah.
I want prob in that list, and it's a problem because I can't figure out how to get it in there. Like I'm running that list. That's a list that I'm hammering out as we speak. And
so I'm going to argue against probability control again. That is the worst of the three. Because if I need a 9 and I roll my 2d6, I have a certain percentile chance of making this 9. If I need it on a second roll that I get to roll it again, it is still the same percentile. And then outwit is the next one that's got to go because there's so much protected outwit. 99.9% of the time I can perplex something, whether it's my defense, whether it's my attack, your defense, your attack, your movement, something. I can use perplex 99% of the time.
All right, I will say this to all my listeners out there: If you see me at a constructed event and I don't have at least one or two probs in my team, I have been abducted and aliens have stolen my body. I always have a prob on my team.
I hadn't thought about the percentage of use one power versus the other. That is a very, very interesting way to look at it.
I'm one of the very few that will think of it that way. Like I said, I am not a prob person, and I get ridiculed by everyone for it. Be like, why don't you have prob? Because I don't need it. If I'm gonna hit, I'm gonna hit. If I'm gonna miss, I'm gonna miss. It
Now,
just gives me another chance at trying to miss or
right
hit.
now, the two practice games that I played today, my opponent, I was playing against Alec, and the team that he played today had 3 probs, and I, for the life of me, couldn't land a hit on him because he would just prob out of it. So I mean, I think prob is super powerful because it can dictate pace, especially if it's one sided. If one
Very
team
much
prob,
so.
yeah,
I mean, I've seen a game where there was the old school Galactus, the I don't know how many points he was, and then
yeah,
somebody ran a bunch of 20-point Destinies against him. Destiny has a 0 attack and 0 damage, and the Destinies won the game because they would sit there and re-roll their dice until they got a crit hit to hit him, or they would
okay.
re-roll his dice until he got a crit miss.
That's
So
crazy.
it's powerful,
Yeah,
but that had to be a stupid long game.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there are, you get into situations like that where all it is stall. I kill your support piece. I score 15. I'm going to turtle up, and you can't hit me for 40 minutes. I've played games like that. That's a thing that happens. For me, instead of allowing myself to be irritated about it, I just would rather try to figure out how to beat it, which is really, really a really difficult proposition when you get to a spot like that. If you put probability control and 2 instances of barrier in a list and then bury yourself in a corner, what am I going to do? I'm going to stare at you and wish
Destroy terrain, and then try and crowd that space. And then the
Yeah.
next turn, you destroy a terrain and try and crowd that space.
Yep.
That's
That's the puzzle. For me, I enjoy that part of it. But that is an interesting thought that I can perplex all the time. There's a target for perplex all the time, and there aren't pieces like Constantine.
There's very few like Constantine.
Yeah, Constantine turns off probability control. The Colossus Prime makes it so no one is immune to mind control.
Merlin said you don't get a stat bump if you're within 4. So if you're bumping your stats up or you have combat reflexes, sorry, you don't have that.
Right.
But he's got to be close enough.
Right.
There's Felix Faust that could turn it off on a D6 roll.
Yeah.
Depending upon what he rolled for you whenever he did it. Sometimes you get to use it twice.
Yeah, and like Beta Ray Bill out of the collector set turns off the cosmic ability. Like things like that can put a hindrance on a team that's relying on something like that. So I mean, there are answers, but how many people want to take up what is Constantine?
50 points.
50 points to turn that off. That's a lot. And then Constantine doesn't do anything else.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I love that piece.
You'll turn off your own prob?
Yeah. Of course.
No, yeah. If I'm the only person with prob, that's just as good as having the most amount of prob. To me. I played a game the other day and I had 6 probs, he had 5, and I outrolled him most of the time. Now if I have 1 and he has 0, it's the same difference.
You're just prolonging your turns. You're not getting any clicks in with prob.
Now, I have a question for both of you before I get on my little soapbox. The watch list just came out. Now, Brian, are you familiar with the watch list?
You're talking about the post-origin, like the bannings and stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's something that from what I understand, Wizkids just started doing the last few years of making erratas and changes to cards that were already printed. What are your thoughts on having a watch list, ban list, errata list? How do you guys feel about that?
Ooh, I'm interested in Brian's perspective since he came from Magic to see what his take is.
So I have direct experience with inside HeroClix and inside Magic because I played Magic for so long. My opinion in Magic became, if you, especially for Standard, which is comparable to Modern, it's the rotate the newest stuff in a rotating format. If you print a card in Standard, don't ban cards in Standard. You printed it, it's going to rotate. Deal with it being in the format for as long as it's going to be here. Don't, because what happens is in both games, you print a card, people chase that card, they pay large amounts of money to get copies of these cards, and then you decide the card isn't fair and you take it away, and the card is immediately worthless because it has no value in game anymore. So you pay $50-$60 for a card, they ban it, it's worth $1, and then you're stuck with this card you paid for that you cannot use. I don't think that's the cost. The dollar cost thing isn't nearly as impactful in Clix because you're not buying 4 copies of most things. That being said, I played against Traffic Barrel in 4 games at Origins. It had impact on 1 game because I didn't understand how it worked. Traffic Barrel, to me, as a new player, was not a hurdle to jump. Just go around it.
Destroy it.
Yeah, take the game in a direction where they have to, if they have to use spot to move it. Make it a problem for them. Like that. That's more of the puzzle solving. It took me a game to realize, my second round opponent played Traffic Barrel, and I just ran into it because I didn't know what it did, and then it was a problem because I was in there and I couldn't get away from it. But in subsequent games, I was like, "Hey, Traffic Barrel, stay 4 squares away from that thing." It didn't impact the game, and it made games more interesting, I think, because it creates this bottleneck. But as far as like banning things, I like banning a thing more than I like an errata. Because an errata creates a problem where a person shows up with a piece and they don't know how it works.
Well, most of us use HC units, and the erratas are on HC units for us to see. Because
Correct.
Clay is very, very on top of his game. Thank you again, Clay. I'll tell you every time I'm on the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right.
But when I just have the card in front of me and it says, "Oh, I can heal up from my stop click because the Soul Sword says so,"
Correct.
I'm going to do it again and again and again.
Yeah. So errata to me makes less sense than banning. I've reread the errata for spot specifically probably 50 times, just in an effort to ingrain that in my head because I don't want to be the guy making the mistake. But there are people that don't refer to HC units, or that have a habit of just referring to the card in front of them. The only downfall, in my opinion, with the HC units thing is at a higher event, you're not allowed to have an electronic device at the table, so your HC units errata isn't in front of you for you to look at.
No, but you have judges floating around.
Correct. And I'm not saying errata is not okay. I'm saying of the two, I like it less. I think errata is necessary because, as a person who plays Spot was busted.
He's
that piece
still good.
He's still good. I don't disagree, but prior to being good, he was busted. But which is another thing to kind of harken back to a thing we talked about earlier with the differences. The power creep in this game is real, and my first thought was Heroclix approach is, well, if everything's busted, nothing's busted, and it's kind of, and I feel that way to a degree, but again, as I am relearning and becoming more familiar with the current version of the game, it's more of a how do you get around it than just fold to it. So, but yeah. Yeah, errata below banning. I prefer banning over errata.
What do you think, Scott?
I mean, if the errata makes sense and is easy to implement, then I would lean towards errata. If it makes sense for what the intent is, or a clarification, basically. If the errata is there to just try and change it to clarify it, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't mind the ban so much if it's something that is completely busted and we have to take it out for a while to figure it out to try and rework it or reword it. Like canon event. I feel like canon event can just get a couple of different wordings put on it, an errata per se, and it works as intended. Rivalry, I don't know how that one's going to be redone if redone.
I do
But then
like.
again, I didn't like protected back in the day either. That card that you just put on people and be like, oh hey, you hit me? Here's you some points. You didn't hit me.
Right. Yeah.
Which is fortify now, basically.
Right. I have fortify in one of my current.
The difference between now and then was I can have protected on every character. It's going to cost me 15, 20 points per character. I put it on. And fortify, you just get once. So
Right.
at least they learned from that.
Right. I talking about erratas and good or bad. I really like the errata to Beetlejuice, like making it so that the time, what are those things called? The time bug.
Yep.
Aren't a character that can take an action to do that. I think that's really good.
So, Mr. Anthony Clark says that this thing is very good to source material. I do like that. What I don't like about Beetlejuice is that I can call him twice, and then I can wait 3 turns, call him in again, and here he comes. It's not like that in the movie. That's not how the source material works.
Right.
They
Yeah.
got to do it consistently. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Here he comes.
I have him in a list right now where I'm playing female Loki on the throne and the Iron Man Hall of Armor. And I'm cheating Beetlejuice in on the first. I'm manipulating Beetlejuice in on the first turn with Hall of Armor and Loki. So I don't know how I feel about the playability of that piece now versus I'm certainly not the only person that's thought of that. So I put Destroyer armor on Loki, so it gives him giant size willpower. I give Loki an action. I give Iron Man an action, and then I swap Iron Man out for Hulkbuster Iron Man that has giant size willpower. And I put in
to crush your dreams now, sir.
Yeah.
Loki with the Destroyer armor is no longer a standard character. If he's on Click 3, he has become a giant, and a giant is not a standard character.
Well, then I've been doing that wrong. And it's not as
Sorry,
good
sir. Had to crush your dreams.
Not as good as I know. That's okay. I'd rather be getting it right. I don't want to be cheating. But yeah, I didn't think of that. You're correct. Yeah.
So I'm of two minds about the watch list. On the one hand, they're never going to get everything right the first time. Like they are essentially, from what I understand, creating these characters in a bubble, and they don't have access to everything that's ever being made and know how it's going to interact with everything. So the game is a constantly evolving creature. It's organic.
Yeah.
My problem is, I'm looking at more from the casual perspective than the competitive, because you go to any major tournament, people are going to be familiar with the erratas. They're going to have HC units. They're going to know what's going on. A couple months ago, I sat across from Aaron, and he had Blackheart on his team, and he had all these ideas of what he's going to do, and I had to explain to him, yeah, he doesn't do any of that anymore, and he was very mad. And
right.
I felt for him because, like, and I said, it's fine. It's just casual game, just two of us, just whatever. But I do feel bad for the amount of casual people who aren't super competitive, going to all these main events, and don't really understand these changes that are being made to these characters that they just bought. So I feel like I guess I would like to see a I don't know if a cap would be, but just keep the errata to a minimum. Do as little changing as possible so
Sure.
that people that aren't constantly watching every podcast and reading all the posts and spending 5 hours a day on HD units still can play the game and enjoy it the way it's intended to be enjoyed without being
Well,
confused or
I feel
misled.
like whenever you have a super difficult piece to understand, like the Spot
Mm-hmm.
or Beetlejuice,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you go to those casual games, like I want to bring up Michael Straight, he still has a whole bunch of new people. He's out all the time trying to bring in more new people in his area. I don't feel like they play those types of pieces just to say, hey, this is a learning event. Come learn. We're going to get you the basics. Recently, in their group that I'm in, they were like, hey, do y'all want to try and do a Swiss event at the shop? Because normally it's just free for all battle royals or pick your game and you
Right.
play for 2 hours if that's what your game lasts. So,
Now, the other
for
side of that coin, though, too, is, and I was just listening to Clix Off, and Alex Kuz made a very good point about erratas. Every errata so far has been to soften or nerf a figure that's too busted and make it less busted, or to fix a wording issue that make it work better. But you never see a figure that they're going, nobody's playing this figure because it's not good enough. They don't errata something to make it better. It'd be interesting to
I
see them take a common or uncommon figure and add a power or change something or change a point value to make it more playable instead of less
right,
playable.
no, I think that comes directly from the competitive standpoint, from the meta of any game, because pieces that aren't played aren't a problem. So if you have a piece like Beetlejuice or Blackheart that is a problem, then that needs to be addressed because it's affecting the meta portion of the game, the competitive side of the game. If anything that's not having an impact on something trackable, so our local on Saturdays at Blue Moon, we're not reporting results to anybody, or we're not going online and going all in fuego about how bad this piece is or that piece was or how unfair this is or that is, or those things don't happen for casual stuff.
Yeah.
So when you draw attention to a thing, and every game, it's the same with Magic, it's the same with Warhammer 40K. Every game that has pieces that are in the spotlight, those spotlight pieces are the ones that get the attention, good or bad. It would be an endless undertaking to try to take the good pieces and the bad pieces and figure out how to move them both to get them to where everything is playable. So I just don't think that's. Do I wish it could be that way? Sure. Do I think that's a reasonable thing to attempt to undertake? No, I
I
don't.
don't necessarily think it should be that way. I just think it'd be interesting if to see that for them to say, "Oh, this common Iron Man, we wanted to be played more, but it's not, so we're going to make a change to make it more playable." I think that'd be interesting. I don't necessarily want that because that's just more homework. But
Right. Right. Yeah.
what do you think, Scott?
Um, I mean, I could see it if there was a certain design element or somebody inside WizKids that was heavily in the design phase of stuff and was like, you know what? I really wanted this 001 Batman out of the shadows Batman to be able to do a little extra because he wasn't busted enough at 75 points. Let's give him something else. Let's give him a +1 to stats if he's in hindering as well. The heck
I
that
think
he can just jump 6 squares and make attacks without having to really do anything.
right. I think we get some of that with the legacy cards, and with the nature of the game. If we have a Batman that could have been better in say the coming Green Lantern set, the Lantern Legacy set. If we have a Batman in that set that they thought was going to be good but underperforms, then next year when we do a DC set again, we just get a better version of Batman. So I think the game in itself affords the opportunity to take an idea that didn't work the way that they wanted and then improve it so that maybe it works the way they want next time.
I like that they can do those bump ups with the legacy cards. I
I
like
agree.
that.
Yes, I think a lot of pieces that weren't playable, like the Starro that I am currently testing with,
He
that
was very playable. What are you talking about? Especially in Silver Age. You go put a Mjolnir on him and you give him the giant reach and he can make 6 or 5 close attacks. It was so gross.
Oh well, you see, this is what I mean. You see things that I don't, so I didn't know that was the thing that you could do with that old Starro or with the old card. I mean, but
yes,
yeah. So that's just a thought that I was.
This one here is busted at 20 points. Be like, oh hey, yeah, I'm gonna take out 0 Starros and switch dials or whatever it is. However he works, I don't know. I just know that he can easily go from 20 points to 150 points or whatever he is.
Something crazy.
He can go clear to 100. He can go clear up to 150. Yeah, it's so good. It's busted. It's so good.
It's a tactic that you can use, and it takes you some actions to get there, unless they're all free.
Right.
Welcome Beetlejuice.
Right. Now the trade-off is you're spending 20 points. Sometimes he's just going to die. But in the games where you get to do the thing, holy crap.
Oh yeah, it's magical when that
yeah.
that silver bullet that you built finally pays off.
Yeah.
After the 47th game of trying.
Yeah, but that's
magic.
the thing though. When you're theory crafting to go to an upscale event, you can't. Silver bullets don't win events; they accidentally win games.
So Brian,
I have no shot on Saturday.
What's that?
I'm going to a 400 point ROC regional Silver Age.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that my silver bullet might win me a game, but it's not going to win me the event.
I'm saying statistically.
Hey, look, I got like 15 teams I'm still trying to narrow down. I think I know what I want, but it's going to change between now and the end of the show. So
Gotcha.
So Brian, I have done my best in the last 7 months or whatever to expose you to as much different play styles and formats of Heroclix as possible.
But I say this is a PG-ish show. We don't try and expose him to certain things.
What do you prefer, sealed or constructed formats?
My favorite way to play is sealed. 2 boxes, open them, put a team together, and go.
Segue. How do you open a booster?
I use I should have it with me. I apologize, and I don't want to walk away from the camera to go get it. But I have a very specific way that I have a Batman pocket knife, spring-loaded pocket knife. I open from the bottom end. I cut the tape. And I open it very carefully. I do not caveman.
You just push that in a little bit, and that tape can have your finger go right underneath it and pops right off.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that, but then I don't get to use my batarang knife.
You're the winner of a damage control.
Look at that.
I told you I got like 50 of them here.
Yeah, I have a lucky knife.
I do the conga line. I pull the tray out slow, and I look at one piece at a time.
So you gotta have a lucky knife to use to cut the tape. It changes what's in the box before you open it.
Oh,
I
so it takes that heavy end piece and turns it into a damage control guy
yeah, yeah.
instead of Primus.
My wife gives me crap all the time. Like, it's like, it's not a magic knife. It's not lucky. It's not unlucky. It's just a knife. I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
lucky. She's like, it's not changing what the contents of the box. Yes, it is, honey. Yes, it is.
Yeah. I have a black knife that has a sketch of a silver sketch of Batman on it, and then when it opens, it looks like a batarang. That was a gift that my oldest son gave me. So when I'm opening HeroClix, I use that knife.
Okay, so you say you have 6 children. Do any of them play HeroClix?
So at one point, my four oldest, all at different stages, played basically all at the same time. So they're different. I don't mean at different stages. I mean they're obviously years apart.
Yes.
So my daughter probably 14 at the time, and then Derek would have been 13, and then Corbin and Terry would have been 9 and 6, something like that. And they all had their own collections, their own little tackle boxes with guys in them, or with clicks in them, and some of it was I want to have the little toys that my dad has, and then some of it was playing. I played games with my oldest daughter. I played games with my oldest son. The two middle boys weren't really old enough to play, but they had collections of their own. Um, my son Derek, my oldest son, him and I play occasionally still. So he'll just show up and be like, "Hey, let's play HeroClix," and we'll jam out a game. Uh, so that's been a cool side effect because at the end of the day, as I stated earlier, I wouldn't be doing this if he hadn't have come to me and said, "Hey, Dad, we should look into this."
Look, my kid is going with me to this event in 2 days. And
Mm-hmm.
last night he's like, "We need to practice. I need another round of practice with my team," because he hasn't wanted to practice almost the entire time. But
Right.
we started building up what his stuff can do, and we put it out on a map yesterday, and I beat him 220 to 200, and we played like an hour and 45 minutes just trying to go through the different scenarios of what he can do. And he's like, "Man, what I thought was the focal points of this team is just the secondary because this other stuff is the focal."
Yeah.
So he learned a lot of it last night after
Yeah.
we sat down and actually talked his team through. Because I'm like, it works. You just got to know how to work it.
Yeah. That's been another big change. Figuring out how to win a game in 47 minutes. Like that's not a thing that we used to do. We used
Yeah.
to play, and then when the game was over, the game was over. That was now I understand the tournament format and the timing is necessary, or that the timed rounds are necessary. But building a team that is designed to remove your opponent's team from the board isn't always the best way. You can build this super powerful thing, and if you only knock out one dude and you run out of time, you could still lose. Like teaching myself that okay, the timer's going to go off, and when the timer goes off, the game is over, and focusing on still being ahead from a point standpoint when that happens. That's been a new thing for me to wrap my head around too. So,
All right, I'm going to be a bad host here, and I'm going to poke the bear. Uh,
okay.
you're going to have a little rant here because I'm ready for it. One of the things that you and I talked about extensively, Brian, is the game clock versus game turns. And you strongly believe that it's not fair to have a game clock. Let's hear about this.
Okay.
Uh-oh. He's changing. He's changing over. It's going to be like, you going to turn the hat around, Sylvester Stallone, for the arm wrestling?
I am neither a sniper nor a catcher. I will not wear my hat backwards. Holy cow. So I come from a gamer background, gamer in general. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that I have played hundreds of different kinds of games, from card games to minis games to board games to worker placement to on and on and on and on and on. There aren't a lot of type of game that I haven't had some experience with. The first event that I played in at Blue Moon with Wes, they said 45-minute rounds, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I didn't, the round's going to be somewhere between 45 and 50 minutes. When the timer goes off, that's it. Cool. And I'm in a game. It's my turn. I was second player, so the timer goes off. One activation into my turn, and the announcement is made. Last action, and I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand. How do I not? How do I not get to finish my turn?
So they used to. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Okay. It was explained to me that that's the rule. That's the rule. So, which is the only way that I can reconcile it in my own head. As a person who has played so many different kinds of games, I think the single outstanding problem from a game design perspective, not pieces, not specific rules, just from a design perspective, if my opponent is allowed to play 3 full turns and I am not, I am at an X percentage of turn disadvantage. It isn't mathematically fair. The solution is timer goes off. If you're the first player, you finish your turn. I, as the second player, get my turn. Then the game ends because we have had the same amount of turns.
They used to do that.
There is no way, and I'm a numbers guy. There is no way from a mathematical standpoint that the current rule is statistically fair.
I'm gonna agree with you that it's not necessarily statistically fair, but I can tell you that I went to one of those high level events when it was last turn. And if it was last turn and your turn just began as the first player, and you've already wasted one or two of your actions to try and set up for the potential next turn because you don't know how much time is left. I mean, your internal clock may tell you you're getting close, but if you get your stuff set up for your next attack or your next turn, and then they call it last turn, that gives me, the other player, an unlimited amount of time to think of how I need to approach you because you have nothing left to do. You're just a sitting duck. You're going to roll your super senses. You might prob me. You're going to roll your defense rolls. I have 15 to 20 minutes of my turn trying to figure out how I can beat you. That's not on the tournament time. It's just on my time.
Agreed.
So that messes with the outcome of the event. Because if round one went 15 minutes over, and round two went 15 minutes over, and round three went 15 minutes over, well, that's already another round technically in time. So we only have these event halls for so long. We have to do something about this. So last action sucks, but it's part of it. And it sucked in the first part because if you were player one and you're setting up for something, and then you get called last action or last turn, and that gives me 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long. If they put a timer on it, and I got 5 minutes to do what I need to do, they're still you just set up for me to come kill you because you don't have anything you can do in rebuttal.
I think that the way that the game ebbs and flows with the activations and the action tokens, I think the problem that you're explaining about me setting up pieces in what ends up being that last turn where I'm not necessarily doing anything offensive, that that is infinitely more manageable than you took a turn and got 4 actions on turn 3 and then it becomes my turn in turn 3, and I get one of my 4 actions. You're ahead of me that turn by 75%.
To me, I can see both sides of the argument, but I would rather them say last turn or last action than last turn, and knowing that my stuff was just served up on a silver platter, and I have no way to do anything about it. While you can just sit there and be like, "Yep, thank you. I'm gonna dump all my attacks into this one guy instead of trying to spread them out how I was trying to set up."
I don't hate the idea of time is called last turn and then setting a timer per action you have remaining. So if you have 3 actions remaining, you get 90 seconds per action. That's going to give you 4.5 minutes. And then if I have 4 actions on my turn, I get 90 seconds per action. That gives me 6 minutes. So that cuts the time thing a little bit, especially if you don't have leadership and you're only on 3 actions. I think putting a secondary timer on each individual action in order to complete a turn is way more fair than what I've explained. And Wes is right. When this happened, I was gone. I was like, "What? What do you mean? I don't get to finish my?"
You were authoritarian, Brian.
Yeah,
I saw one of the other Moon Knights.
Yeah, I was insane.
This doesn't either way. Somebody's getting screwed, is what I'm saying. It's not fair either way. So
100%. I also on that particular day I would not have agreed, but with my experience since then, I would agree that infinite time to finish a turn is not the answer. But I think there needs to be a change to the end of the round in order to balance it. The best thing I've come up with so far, and I think about this a lot, as Wes can attest. This is a thing that we have talked about more than once. I think the time per activation is the closest thing to a reasonable answer that I have been able to come up with so far. Now I don't know, and I'm not petitioning. I'm not pretending to be a game designer or somebody with the answer. That's the best thought that I have had.
So I think the answer to your dilemma is something that we've talked about before on the show that PJ experimented with a couple years ago at Gen Con using chess clocks.
CCO.
Oh, was it CCO?
They did it at CCO, okay. Not this year, the previous year, and I was one of the participants in that experiment.
Scott, do you want to take time to go over it again since we just talked about it not that long ago, or do you want to talk about that off air?
I feel like as a player in it, and everyone that I played with had a good experience with it. Is it feasible to pull off? It needs way more testing to make it viable. Can it be done? Yes, if we have enough volunteers and enough testing and the judges get on board with it, I think it is something that could be done. Is it going to be an easy transition? No, it won't. Not at all.
Chess clocks are a thing in competitive Warhammer 40K now.
So I've never played 40K and I don't understand the nuances of 40K, but for something like probability control, I roll my attack on my time. You have the ability to tell me probability control. That's still my time. Do I pause my time and let you decide?
See, that's what I don't have the answer to that off the top of my head, but that's what you were saying is the testing. I think the way a chess clock, I played chess in high school, so the way a chess clock works is just touch a button. So if you're on your turn and your chess clock and your clock is active,
mm-hmm.
If I'm going to make you, if you're rolling to attack and I'm going to use prob to make you re-roll, you would make an attack and hit. I would hit my chess clock active and say, going to prob that. You roll the prob on my time, and then click it back and go to your time. Now you're talking about seconds.
Yes, you're talking about seconds, but sometimes it's like
it adds up.
Do I want to use my prob here, or do I want to use my prob here? So
right.
It'd be a constant be like, all right, pause. All right, are you gonna do anything? All right, let's go.
Yeah, I don't like you said.
So
Lots of testing would be necessary to
it
see if that works.
All right. I'm gonna move us along here. We've been cooking for almost an hour and a half. Brian, do you what do you use to carry around your HeroClix in?
I have a Craftsman double stack toolbox.
And
Uh,
you've seen the boxes that at the tournament that everybody carries around. They're personalized and
yep,
uh,
I'm gonna get one. I have the red, white, and Clix is coming up in November.
mm-hmm.
I want to buy one now, but I'm not gonna because I want to benefit the charity event versus just ordering one for myself.
Well,
I
I can
am gonna
tell
purchase
you
one of the.
the one of the sponsor the sponsor of Talking Clicks is John Hoffner. He's called Clix Creator, and he 3D prints those cases, the
Right.
Dyson tokens, all that stuff. He's way cheaper than everybody else. He will even do straight up plastic for plastic. Like you trade him a chase, and he'll trade you a case.
Oh,
And
okay,
he is the one that's printing up the cases for Red, White, and Clicks.
okay.
So all that stuff. So if you want something before November, whether it be a case or some personalized tokens or just about anything that you can print with plastic,
Mm-hmm.
he'll do it for a fraction of the cost or just for chase and a handshake. He's awesome, and he
I just want to
yeah.
make sure that the the event benefits from whatever that purchase is. Like I don't. I would rather when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Like I would rather make sure that the veterans get the benefit of me purchasing that.
Well, I appreciate that, sir.
So
Just letting everybody know that John is doing that, and he can personalize everything and make it just custom for you at a fraction of the price. And he is designing lots of great stuff for Rhode Island Clicks. He's got glow in the dark deity bases and cases and all kinds of
that's
cool
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Will you be at Red, White, and Clicks? I assume.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked briefly. I would like to help facilitate in any way I can. I'm not. I want to play some, obviously, but I'm not opposed to moving chairs or tables and those kinds of things. I'm not a judge or anything to the like that at all at this
a
point.
Clix will ambassador.
Yes, yeah, I'm willing to do whatever I can to help in any way that I can.
I might take you up on that. The tables that I use are donated by. They're with the National Guard Armory that we are using,
Sure.
and to say they are heavier than your average folding table would be the grossest underestimation ever. These things weigh 1,000 pounds each,
Are they
and
the old
I
school
could use a
wooden
lot
ones?
of help lifting those up. So I
Gotcha.
may call on you for some extra muscle.
Yeah, I will be happy to help.
So here on Talking Clicks, we have what's called the Clicks Questionnaire.
Okay.
And during these interviews, we get to know you a little bit as a person. The community may know your name already. If they don't, they're going to learn about you here. But the Clicks Questionnaire is something that I designed with AI help. I contacted the Kevin computer from the She-Hulk TV show, and it's just a tried and true, proven, scientifically proven way for the Clicks community to get to know you inside and out.
Okay.
Know you as a player, as a person, and know your soul. Are you prepared for these questions?
I am as ready as I can be.
All right. Cake or pie?
Cake.
Salty or sweet?
Salty.
Best sandwich?
A club.
A club sandwich.
Yeah. Ham roast beef.
Best soda. Club.
Welch's grape.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you call soda?
Is it pop? Is it
No,
soda? Is it
it's
all
soda.
Coke?
It's soda. No, Coke is a brand,
You're in Indiana. It's pop.
and it's been soda my whole life.
Bath towel, crumple or fold?
Oh, full.
What is a comic book villain that you think is grossly misunderstood and might have been right?
Mr. Sinister.
Thanos. That's a generic answer, but Thanos. I feel like I'm cheating with that answer, but that's the one.
It's a good one.
How do you like your orange juice? Pulp or no pulp?
No pulp.
Oh, your milk.
There's no pulp in milk.
You're not getting the right milk then. Okay.
That's kind
Whole
of cheap.
2% skim.
Oh, whole milk.
Where does chocolate milk come from? Chocolate cows?
Hershey's.
All right, Superman is real. Do you implicitly trust him to do whatever he wants, or do you sleep with kryptonite under your pillow?
That's a loaded question. If we're talking about Superman from the comics, I implicitly trust him to do whatever he wants.
All right. If I walk into the Golden Girls house and I say, "Hey Blanche, we got a hot date, and I need a date for my wingman here. You, which one are you gonna pick? Can't have Blanche. She's with me."
Oh my gosh. I can't remember her name. Betty White's character.
Rose. You want Rose?
I
Yeah,
agree. I like her.
She's hilarious. Yeah.
All right, this will be interesting for me since you are a driver. You're on a
Okay.
12-hour road trip. You can only listen to one band or singer the entire trip. You can listen to anything in their repertoire, but it all has to be the same group or singer. What are you listening to?
Ooh. I have a question about that. I'll let him answer first.
I Prevail.
I Prevail has a nice little bundle there. I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been under the radar for so long, but yes, they are a very good band. Can I listen to covers of said band, not sung by said band?
No,
But it's their music.
it's not the band. I said the band.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's just a cover of their music.
Look, this is my game, my rules.
I'm just asking, can I put a twist on it?
Yeah.
Like Linkin Park, in the end, it has like several different covers of it, and I feel like they're all, well, most of them are really, really good.
Yeah,
Look,
so-
if I want to listen to, if I'm listening to Aerosmith, I want to listen to Aerosmith, not Tom, Dick, and Harry Down the Streets version of Aerosmith.
All right, which Lantern Corps would you be inducted into? He's saying the red one. I think he's picked it out for you.
Yeah. Probably Sinestro Corps.
Fear? You install Great Fear? We can ask your children.
No, not intentionally. I think I've. Do you mind if I talk about this for a second?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Without getting utterly personal. In my lifetime, fear has been a real thing for me for different reasons. Understanding how to cope with that fear has always been difficult for me, and for me, the short version of a very long story is without fear you cannot have or be brave. You cannot have bravery. You cannot be brave if you do not have fear. So it's been such a powerful thing in my life for, like I said, lots of reasons that's just where I feel of the Lantern Corps. That's the one I feel connected to.
You sound more green because you've overcome great fear.
Again, though, the will isn't relevant without the fear.
Yes.
So that, yeah.
I mean, they're all intertwined.
It's for sure.
Spectrum, so.
Yeah.
You know, Brian, I don't think there's anything you've ever said that I've agreed with more than that statement right there. That's, for years I've said that Superman's not brave. Batman's brave. Superman isn't afraid of running into a burning building. Batman can die.
Yeah. It's just that fear has had such a large impact on my life, and that's just where my connection is. I've always been a Sinestro guy. I've already bought the Sinestro Colossal for the set coming up. I got it in the mail like 2 weeks ago.
All right. New question for you that we haven't asked before.
Okay.
You got to kill one of us, and the other one's going to become your brother.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know me, so you can just off me. It's fine.
Yeah, I have this gut instinct that, Scott, you and I have a ton in common. I said I prevail. You knew who they were. That's, oh my gosh. I have to give the pass to Wes, though. Sorry.
All right. We need to keep a tally on this question, Wes, because I'm
All right.
I'll
hold you to that. Marry, F, or kill Wonder Woman, Black Widow, Harley Quinn.
Oh, I'm killing Harley Quinn.
Really?
Yeah. She's, dude, 3 ex-wives. I don't need any more crazy. I'm killing Harley Quinn. I'm marrying Wonder Woman, and I'm doing terrible things to Black Widow.
Thundercats versus He-Man.
He-Man. Not close.
Not even close. Yes, I agree.
My bedroom is right there, and from where I'm sitting, I have a Castle Grayskull and a Snake Mountain literally on my dresser in my bedroom. Right there.
How do we not have Inspector Gadget iconics? Can you imagine the cool stuff that we could do with Heroclix with Inspector Gadget and all of his different equipment?
Inspector Gadget could be really perverted too. I mean, he's wearing a trench coat. And you don't know what's underneath it. And he could be like Go-Go Gadget penis.
Okay, I'm going to respectfully decline to comment on the Inspector Gadget debate.
All right, just saying that one could be on the fence there.
All right, you have to lose one of your 5 senses. Which one is it?
Taste.
COVID.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, you get to hang out with a member of the A team. Which one you going to have beers with? Or
Face.
cigar?
I'm going to have beer with Face. Yeah. He's such a cool dude.
You know, some of these people that we talk to, they don't know who the A team is. So I gotta avoid that question. But you got to be 50 plus, 50-ish.
I'll be 52 in September.
So
yeah,
we're near the same age. Even though
did you see the remake of A Team a few years ago?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, new Face or old Face?
Old Face.
Old
Face.
Face.
100%.
Hands down.
100.
Hands down.
100. The only one that I might choose new over old is Murdoch. And
I like him.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, yeah.
He's awesome. Well, Brian, that was the Clix questionnaire. Now the entire Clix community knows you inside and out. How does it feel?
Liberating.
All right.
Yeah. I'm glad to be here. So, yeah.
Well, everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel if you like anything you've seen here. It does make a difference. We are currently sitting at 88 subscribers on YouTube. When we hit 100, we're going to have a special giveaway, including an entire brick of Lantern Legacy once it releases. So make sure you tell your friends to like and subscribe to our channel so you can be put in for the drawing or whatever giveaway we decide to do. But it will be big. It'll be fun. It'll be expensive for me, but I want it at 100. So make sure you tell everybody. But That's been Talking Clicks. Brian, it's been a delight to have you here. I've enjoyed getting to know you over the last year almost.
Yeah.
You have come a long way in a very short amount of time, and I'm very proud to have been a part of your Clicks journey this far. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome. It has been a blast. Thanks for having me, guys. I've been looking forward to this talk for a long time. So my only apology is I'm sorry it took me so long to nail down a time.
Hey, it's fine. We have a
Schedules
lot
happen.
of hats, a lot of names in the hat to draw out. So
Gotcha.
All right,
All right.
gentlemen. Do you guys have any final thoughts before signing off tonight?
No, I wish they'd tell us when Lantern Legacy's coming
August
out.
27th.
It's posted August 27th. And
Okay.
my idea is that it's not going to be legal for Worlds. It will be the sealed stuff that they use. The reasoning being will be because international players have not had time to acquire said contents of Lantern Legacy.
AKA, they rotate after 2 worlds. So if they make it legal for this world, it'll only be legal for one full calendar year before it rotates out. So,
Yeah, that would be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott,
Yeah.
any last thoughts?
I'm trying to come up with a movie quote, but instead I'm going to go back to I Prevail, and the song that tipped me onto them was a cover song of
Oh,
Taylor Swift's Blank
blank
Space.
space.
It was
Yep.
probably like, what is this? Where do I find this at?
Yep.
And I'm like, yes, it's if you have an outro song, that should be the outro song.
Yeah, man, I saw them live with the Hollywood Undead and Crown the Royals at the Chicago House of Blues.
Oh, I did have one thing to add. Fantasy football. If you play fantasy football and you want to join the Talking Clicks Fantasy Football League, if you outplace me in a fantasy football league, I plan on doing it to 12, maybe 16 people, depending on how many people want to sign up. If you place higher than me in this, I will send you a booster of the newest set when the league ends.
One last shout out too is for those of us that have been with Talking Clicks since the beginning. Scott has a special segment called Casual Corner.
Man, I am so far behind. I've been practicing
Yes,
for this ROC.
Scott has been
I
slacking.
swear I'll get it.
But I would encourage those to look up the casual corner segments that we've already aired, because I intend to use one of those as an inspiration for an event at Red, White, and Clix. So if you watch Casual Corner, you can be clued into a format that we're going to be working with at Red, White, and Clix. And Scott, get on that recording and give me some new episodes.
Man, as soon as I get done with this ROC event, I will set up a weekend where I'm recording just various stuff. My kid is going to help me, and we're going to get it. Oh, he has the intro video ready, minus a couple little things, like a complete interview of me potentially.
Okay.
So it makes better sense after you've interviewed me to know what my alter ego would be, / all this other stuff, because he built his mini Lego of me off of what he thinks my alter ego is. So
Fantastic.
So, Brian, last action, Westbrook.
I'll take it. I need that on a shirt. I need a red, white, and click shirt that says "Last Action Westbrook" on the back.
All right, I will work on that, sir. Well, thank you for being here, gentlemen. It's an absolute joy to talk to you guys. I look forward to this evening every week. Brian, I hope to see you Saturday, hopefully. We got some practice to do for CCO. Scott,
Saturday.
we will be recording this weekend, so I look forward to talking to you then.
yes, I have Romeo signed up for this coming Sunday. I will be seeing him Saturday at the event in Austin. So,
all right. And for everybody out there in Heroclix land, as always, keep on clixing. Have a good night.
Yeah.